Within the whimsical and colorful world of Bikini Bottom, there lies an enigmatic character whose past may be far more intriguing than meets the eye. Enter Mrs. Puff, the beleaguered driving instructor and constant companion to our beloved SpongeBob. While Mrs. Puff is often seen as a strict yet caring mentor, but there is speculation that she may be harboring a dark secret, a hidden criminal past. In this theory, proponents suggest that Mrs. Puff's perpetual desire to avoid trouble and maintain a low profile stems from her past life as a criminal. Her encounters with SpongeBob, who often causes chaos and destruction during his driving lessons, serve as reminders of her previous life and the need to distance herself from her criminal activities. As the theory gains traction, several intriguing points emerge, shedding light on the potential evidence supporting Mrs. Puff's mysterious past. Let us now explore these compelling points that fuel the criminal past theory surrounding Mrs. Puff. From her extensive knowledge of illegal activities to her inconsistent behavior towards SpongeBob, each facet adds depth to the captivating narrative surrounding her character. Together, these points offer a fresh perspective on Mrs. Puff, raising questions about her enigmatic origins and leaving fans to ponder the secrets she may be hiding. Number 1. Mrs. Puff's desire to avoid trouble. Throughout the series, Mrs. Puff is shown as someone who is constantly on edge and desperate to avoid any kind of trouble. She often expresses anxiety and fear whenever SpongeBob is behind the wheel during his driving lessons. This behavior could be interpreted as an indication that she is trying to distance herself from her past criminal activities, avoiding any potential attention or involvement with law enforcement. Number 2. Reluctance to confront SpongeBob's mistakes. Despite SpongeBob's repeated driving mishaps and destructive accidents, Mrs. Puff often hesitates to report or punish him. Instead, she tries to handle the situations on her own, sometimes resorting to drastic measures to prevent SpongeBob's reckless behavior. This could be seen as a way for her to cover up any evidence or traces that may reveal her criminal past. Number 3. Unusual expertise in evasion and escape. Mrs. Puff frequently displays a skill set associated with evading authorities and escaping from difficult situations. She demonstrates resourcefulness, quick thinking, and an ability to adapt in order to avoid being caught. These traits could be interpreted as remnants of her criminal past, as she uses her experience to stay one step ahead and maintain a low profile. Number 4. Fear of being caught or recognized. Mrs. Puff often exhibits paranoia and anxiety when confronted with situations that might expose her true identity or past. This fear could stem from the possibility of someone recognizing her from her criminal activities, leading to unwanted attention and potential consequences. Number 5. Questionable connections and relationships. Throughout the series, Mrs. Puff is shown to have connections with other characters who may have dubious backgrounds, such as Bubble Bass and Flats the Flounder. These associations could be indicative of her involvement in an underground network or criminal circles, adding to the theory of her criminal past. Number 6. Mrs. Puff's knowledge of illegal activities. Throughout the series, Mrs. Puff demonstrates a surprisingly extensive knowledge of driving violations, traffic laws, and even prison life. She often provides detailed explanations of various offenses committed by SpongeBob, indicating her familiarity with illegal activities. This level of expertise could be seen as a result of her own involvement in criminal behavior, suggesting that she has first-hand experience and knowledge of such activities. Number 7. Mysterious past and identity. Very little is known about Mrs. Puff's personal history and background. The show provides minimal information about her past, leaving her character shrouded in mystery. This lack of information invites speculation about her origins and opens the door to theories, such as the criminal past theory. The absence of a concrete backstory allows fans to imagine and interpret potential connections to a hidden criminal past. Number 8. Inconsistent behavior towards SpongeBob. While Mrs. Puff is often frustrated and exasperated by SpongeBob's driving incompetence, there are occasional moments when she displays unexpected acts of care and protection towards him. These instances of inconsistent behavior could be seen as attempts to gain SpongeBob's trust and loyalty. It's possible that Mrs. Puff seeks to maintain control over him, potentially indicating ulterior motives or a desire to keep him quiet about her own criminal history. Number 9. Fear of exposure and blackmail. Mrs. Puff's intense fear of exposure and potential consequences adds weight to the theory of her criminal past. She often demonstrates anxiety and paranoia, exhibiting a constant vigilance to protect her secret. This fear could suggest that someone from her past has incriminating evidence or knowledge that could ruin her reputation. The possibility of blackmail would explain her perpetual anxiety and desperate attempts to maintain a low profile. Number 10. Drastic attempts to escape Bikini Bottom. In some episodes, Mrs. Puff is depicted as going to great lengths to escape Bikini Bottom and start anew elsewhere. These desperate attempts to leave the town and sever ties with her current life suggest a desire to distance herself from her past, including any criminal involvement. Her eagerness to make a fresh start could stem from a need to leave behind her criminal past and the associated risks of staying in the same location. If you want to know more crazy theories, check out this video.